I guess it wasn't until I'm older now realizing that like, yeah, it was the community that I really is the church, right? Like that's what I wanted was that community and like that relationship with God. And like as I went through college and graduated and started my career, I wasn't searching for the community. My wife had a son, my stepson now, and he was like 2 or 3 when we met, and he's 11 now. And we had Vesta, my daughter, a year or two into our marriage. And then Leif, we had during COVID. We've done things a little different than I guess most as far as births. We've done home births with all of our children. So we've done this process with the first two, and no issues. And this last one with Leif, we decided not to get we're not going to do the ultrasound with this one, and she was totally fine. And so we just did our regular checkups with our midwife still, every couple weeks. And looking back, it was always hard to find Leif's heartbeat. So now I'll fast forward. We're giving birth at home. Leif is born, and beautiful, healthy baby. And a couple 20 minutes go by, and the midwife looks at us and she says, well, there's another baby in there. Because Leif was a twin, and because we had not done an ultrasound, we had not known this. So she's like, okay, Whitney, are you ready, to deliver this? Yeah. And so she delivers the baby, and Nicholas now had some complications. His heart was on the wrong side of his body, and there was some like developmental brain stuff as well. So he was breathing for a little bit, but like they needed to get him to the ER like as soon as possible. And Children's Hospital was about, it's an hour and a half drive or whatever, but they flew the helicopter and buzzed Nicholas there. And everything was happening so fast because here we have a healthy baby. We have one now that's not. Like, we need to split up. I had to go. I should have been on the helicopter looking back now, but like I just drove. So, I get to the hospital, and they're working on him and trying to keep him alive, and basically they came to the conclusion that there was going to be a lot of issues, right? And they could continue to operate or not. And they gave me the option, to make the decision. And I was really lost in that moment. It's still pretty raw, 3 years later. It was just such like mixed emotions to have like a beautiful, healthy child, and then this other child that like I wanted so badly to be there for, but like, it wasn't in the cards. I called Whitney, and a lot of these decisions I think I didn't really like do in prayer. They were quick. I was just trying to figure it out at the time. We were tired from COVID and everything that had taken place. I think I still hold something for making that choice to let him go. 3 or 4 weeks later, I was holding Leif, and he slipped out of my arms and hit his head on the ground. Fell about 2 or 3 feet. I was standing. That's where I felt like a real low, the rock bottom. Because here now I'd lost a child, and now almost killed the other one. Still, it was tough to think about. I mean, this is 2 or 3 weeks later. Same firefighters are not coming to the house, and it's the same situation. They gotta be wondering what the heck is going on in this house, We're now in the hospital. I'm having to do police report and all this stuff, and I'm being asked all these questions because of it's considered abuse, or they're trying to figure all this stuff out. Thankfully, he was all right. Through prayer and stuff, it's slowly, I think, healing over time. That was the start of I think a seed that was like planted in me to start seeking something different. Again, this was all going on during COVID. And I was getting a lot of pressure from my job to get the vaccine, which at the time I wasn't ready to do. So basically we came to terms with a severance package and I left the company. And for whatever reason, I felt called here. I felt like this was the right place. Like, for whatever reason, we'd been searching for community throughout that whole process and just hadn't found a church, hadn't found community, friends, like anything. We just felt kind of like alone going through this. So yeah, we got here. I had lined up a construction job, going into winter. My experience and stuff in film, there just was none of that available up here, but we knew like this is where we wanted to be, so we just kind of made it happen. I dove in, like Margie met me and asked if I could help film some stuff, and I was like, yes, like I'll do that. I didn't have a lot of time, we have little kids and I was working, but like if I had a little extra time, I was gonna do it. And then I got asked to do a men's group, which I had like never done, but like had always wanted to be asked to do a men's group. It was like all these little things started happening that like before we had been searching for. I think we tend to, when you feel alone or depressed or have anxiety about it, it's because you're not talking about it. You're making it something bigger than it actually is, because we're all going through stuff like that. We're all having issues at times. But to have those vulnerable moments and do it in a group that you can trust, and it gives you that avenue to talk about things you're scared about. I'm finding that like God will give you these options, and like just because it's scary and hard to face something, and like that may be the option though that's gonna like tear a little part of you off, right? He's sculpting you, like that's gonna help you grow out of the ashes or out, into something new. Again, community like that we've been searching for, like, and it's happened because like we made a choice and just kind of stuck with it, and it was a choice that we made with God.